A hive-winged mother flew across the savanna clearing, her dragonet in her arms. She began to sob. She would have to make a very important yet difficult decision if she wanted to give her dragonet a chance at living. She looked back, seeing the hive slowly fading out of view. There was no turning back now. She was too far from the hives and close to the coast. She landed on the rocky coast. She grabbed a cloth and a box made of wax and wood from the large pouch she was carrying. The box was large enough to fit a small hatchling in it, the perfect size for her dragonet. She opened the box. Her dragonet watched her curiously. Mama, what are you doing? The dragonet said as she picked them up. She placed the tiny squirming dragonet into the box. The dragonet reached their arms out for their mother. Mama! Mama! Where's Mama? The dragonet called. The hive-winged mother put the cloth on her dragonet so they wouldn't be cold during their long trip. She slowly closed the box on her dragonet, making sure that she did not hurt them. She continued to sob. In a shaky, heartbreaking voice, she delivered her final words to her dragonet. I'm sorry, little one. Maybe you will see Mama again. Not for a long while, unfortunately. Goodbye, she said as she flew to the deep end and placed the box in the water. She flew back to the coast, watching the tiny box with her dragonet in it slowly drift away until she couldn't see it anymore. She curled up on the coast and wailed. Hopefully it will be better for you, wherever you end up. They woke up to the sound of the large rolling waves crashing onto the beach. They were on a beach, right? It sounded like it. Where is Mama? I don't remember. Where's Mama? They thought, clawing at the roof of the box. They squeaked and chirped helplessly. Hopefully someone will hear them. I remember. Mama put me in this box. She said... Oh, what did she say? She sounded very sad, though. Then I felt the sensation of small ripples hitting the side of the box. It felt like I was floating. I was in the water. And then I could feel myself drifting away from, yes, the beach on Pantala. Am I still on Pantala? No, it couldn't be. Is that even possible? To end up back on a beach in Pantala? No, it isn't. Then where can I be? What other continents are there? I don't know. They were cut off by sudden thundering talons stepping on the sand. They could feel the force of the footsteps in their very core. They squeaked in fear. General, come here and take a look at this, a voice said. Who is a general? Where were they? They heard more footsteps approaching them. This time they were softer. They could hear the raspy and quick breathing of the second dragon. They could feel the box being lifted up. Don't ask me, the second dragon said. The second dragon opened the simple lock. CHRYSOCHUS shuffled around in the box, turning their body away from where they assumed the lock on the box was. They could feel horrible heat blazing down on their back as the box was opened. They would turn their head to see. The sun was blinding. They hadn't seen natural light in days, they assumed. They blinked rapidly as they tried to adjust to the light. After they had done so, they could see a very dark brown dragon with a burn mark? There was a burn mark across her eyes and a star shape on her forehead. She was a very, very large dragon. She flinched at the presence of the dragonet inside, making her drop the box. They braced themselves for the impact. However, she caught the box. Wow, okay. That's some amazing reaction time. I don't think she could even see properly, not with that huge scar on her eyes. She closed the box again. We'll have to show this to the king. He'll know what to do with it, she said to the first dragon. Oh, who's the king? Hopefully he isn't like Queen Wasp. Hopefully none of these rulers on this weird continent are like her. The female dragon stopped, causing the box to shake slightly. Are we finally here? They would think. They heard the lock of the box clicking as it was open again. This time it wasn't as bright as before. They seemed to be inside a dimly lit palace. They looked a little closer and noticed that the walls were made of sandstone? That's what it's called, right? The walls were embedded with a beautiful dark crystal. It had a purple undertone. The firelight reflected beautifully on the crystals. They assumed it was obsidian. This is quite the interesting specimen you have brought me, General Karma, a third voice said. They assumed it was the king. The king had a gorgeous and well-forged obsidian crown. It reflected the firelight brighter than even the obsidian on the walls. His scales were a beautiful shade of dark blue. His golden throne contrasted his scales well. General Karma set down the box to let them free. They bounded out of the box and stood in front of the king. They were quite intimidated by the king's glance. The king looked down at CHRYSOCHUS with a devious and thoughtful grin. General Karma, I request that you raise this dragonette. His words echoed across the palace. General Karma was wide-eyed. But she was cut off by the king. Yes, your place in the kingdom as the general will be effective for a few years. You may even lose your job. But you should be honored to raise such a dragonette. He got angrier and even more intimidated. His devious grin appeared again. Big plans for this dragonette. You can tell your second in command that you will be off duty for this foreseeable future until further notice. I shall announce this to the kingdom. We shall celebrate this opportunity, he said before climbing off his throne. General Karma bowed to him as he walked out of the palace. They watched the king leave with a frown. Oh my, hopefully she isn't too mad about this. Karma walked slowly towards them before gently picking them up and whispering into their ear. You remind me of my little brother. I wished he was still here. What's your name, little one? Karma asked. She was surprisingly calm. Her voice was soothing, but it had a hint of sadness and guilt. They would embrace Karma. Well, my name is CHRYSOCHUS, they would reply. She smiled. CHRYSOCHUS. They looked at her with confusion. I'll give you the life I never had. Karma taught CHRYSOCHUS everything she knew. The vital spots of a dragon, how to fight a dragon and take the advantage, how to battle plan, or just plan quickly in general, how to catch and kill their own prey, all the kingdoms on the continent and their rulers, how to socialize with the Nightwings and Sandwings. CHRYSOCHUS grew into a cunning yet collected and careful young dragon. However, Karma's positive influence would later be conflicted by the king's actions. 3.5 years later, CHRYSOCHUS is about 5 years old. CHRYSOCHUS's eyes slowly blinked open. What time is it? Oh no, is it late? I wouldn't want to miss my morning meal. Oh, it's fine. Never mind. I can live. I'll just wait until lunch to eat. CHRYSOCHUS stretched before going downstairs. The scorpion den was roaring with life as always. I wish these dragons could sell something of use though. Amongst the crowd, they spotted something unusual. A black and orange dragon. They thought it was a Nightwing at first, but no, it wasn't. The dragon looked similar to them too. They had the same body shape with gray glasses, strangely no spikes, and a strange silver thing next to its eye. They would think about it for a bit. Could that be the silver scale on a mind reader? Could they read their mind? They approached the dragon, pushing through the crowd. The dragon stared awkwardly as they approached. They waved at them. Hi, what's your name? Hello? They yelled, trying to be louder than the crowd of dragons. Its ear flicked and its eyes opened as it stared at them. The dragon muttered. They managed to push through all the dragons until they were standing next to the dragon.
Hello?
The dragon would fidget with the wires of its glasses. What's your name? They asked again. They liked this dragon. Maybe they could be friends.
I'm Amber.
It would flick its tail. Hi, Amber. My name is CHRYSOCHUS'S, they replied. Hopefully they were doing this right. They looked around, noticing the funny looks of the dragons walking past them.
It's normal. They haven't seen dragons like us. Hey, you look a bit like me.
They thought about it again. I'm a hive-wing, but I was raised by a nightwing.
Yeah.
The hive-wing, Amber, would ponder.
I haven't seen another hive-wing since I flew away from Pantala.
They frowned. Really? I don't even remember being on Pantala. I think... 3 moons. I can't remember. Amber would tilt her head.
I guess you might have been brought here or hatched here. I once heard a swirl about some famous dragons who were carried from one kingdom to another as hatchlings. I guess you just don't remember anything if you were born in Pantala.
Amber would fix her glasses. They were still frowning. I'm positive I was born in Pantala. I wonder what became of my parents. They said, their rainbow wings glittering in the sunlight. Amber frowned.
Probably not a good thing.
They nodded. Yeah, probably. They looked to their tent. Hey, do you want to meet my mom? Amber tilted her head.
I'm waiting in line to buy something from this dragon. Can you wait just a bit?
She did a gesture where her talons were almost touching. Oh, okay, that's fine, they replied, still staring at their tent. It was finally the hive-wing's turn in line. She talked to the hybrid merchant about something related to a gemstone and magic. After a bit, she came back.
I'm ready.
She would carry a bag on her hips. Okay, let's go, they said, excited to show her. They raced to their tent. Hey, Mom, look who I brought home, they yelled. A brown nightwing with a scar on her face would walk to the pair. The nightwing put a talon on Amber's shoulder. She would stare up. CHRYSOCHUS tilted her head at her. Don't worry, that's just her way of judging dragons she hasn't met before. She can't see. It's like... She can feel dragons' presence by being near or touching them, and then judging them based off of the aura they're giving off. I'm sorry, I probably sound a little stupid. Amber would stare.
No, that's actually cool.
They would smile at Amber. She would back away from the pair. Hello, young one. I'm Karma. Amber would smile.
I'm Amber of the Hive Wings.